So in game one, your guys' gold lead got all the way up to nearly 6K, and it felt like the turning point was at 22 minutes when you guys got engaged on by Ayla. In those kind of situations, is the approach to the game to push your lead even further, or did you guys feel like you're on a timer since you felt like they scaled well?
No, we're not really on a timer. It's like they're on a timer because the comp we're playing is Bard Nidalee as our jungle support, and like our advantage is we're really faster on the map, and we have poke. So what we do is we just like slowly progress our vision, and like if Nidalee lands one spear, like obviously people don't get hit by Nidalee spears, just like dry. But the idea is like we have so much vision, we're threatening Nash, we're threatening to dive top and then run bot and then mid because we're so fast that like eventually we get a good situation going naturally. We don't really have to force anything. It's more like they have to engage on us while we're just slowly like moving around the map and like slowly getting more and more of a lead until something really good happens where we can like pull the trigger because we got kills off Baron or something. But we were doing that slowly. We just kind of got a bit too hasty and just wanted to fight too much. And it's like when we reviewed it, it's like we can fight if we play it really well, but there's no way we can lose if we just keep playing the way our comp is supposed to play. So yeah, it's like the way we fought there. I don't know exactly which fight it was that happened at 22 minutes, but like if I use my Bard ult better, probably like when they hook my Nidalee, if I Bard ult her and use it kind of like a Zhonya's, that could be good. But yeah, overall, we're in a good position. We weren't rushed or stressed, but we just like felt maybe too strong, so we just fought. And
So would you like chalk up the game one loss then to mistake rather than like them playing well, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. We were in total control. They couldn't do anything except fight us, and if we just make them reach really hard to fight us, we're just gonna win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, so for sure. So I think like this play in general has been a pretty big leap for you personally. If I like the highlights and like the good play is still there and you've minimized a lot of the mistakes, would you consider yourself the best in NA in terms of support? And then where do you think you rank yourself like in the West in general?
I mean, I think Core is like my main competition. I feel like he's the other strongest support. I don't know who's better. I respect Core a lot. I think he's really good. I learned a lot from him. He's been playing for so long and he's still really on the top of his game. So I wouldn't rank myself number one, or maybe I'm number one. I don't know. I could be number one or two. But yeah, and then in terms of the West, I don't know. I mean, I played in EWC against Mickey X, and that's also one of the greatest Western supports, and I was like, I think doing pretty well. Uh, so I don't know what I'd be ranked in the West, but not too low. But
Because yeah, I feel like the West in general, it's like very like the G2 players are up there and then the rest is kind of up for grabs. So it feels like, in my opinion, I would have you like the top three Western. I think you're probably better than most of the European supports. So I think yeah, the West is definitely up for grabs. It's very like convoluted. Whereas like I feel like in the East is like on Carrier, these big names, lands even. So I think the West is definitely a little bit more blurry. I would describe it as blurry. Sure. So in the first game, you build Warmogs first, and it's been the standard first item for pretty much every tank support and even some tank junglers. It did receive some nerfs on patch 14.14 where they increased the threshold another 200 health.
Yeah.
Do you feel like those nerfs were enough to make him weak? Because, I mean, you're still building it first. And if not, what changes do you think should happen to Warmogs to make it more balanced?
I mean, I think it's like fine right now, honestly, because since it's 1500 health, you need to buy a ruby crystal and still go overgrowth, or you don't need that ruby crystal as long as you go double scaling HP, and then I think it's like level 10. You'll have enough HP with that. But then you're like sacrificing so much lane power by going double scaling, because I feel like
Squish your...
Yeah, like bot, there's a lot of fist fighting. Depending on the matchup, you can go for sure, but like I wouldn't personally do that. I just build extra ruby crystal. I don't know how they could nerf it more. I mean, they could increase it to like
1700 or something.
Yeah, but it's like then at that point, who's buying it? Like right now, I'm not exactly sure if it's honestly optimal. Like once I get it like unlocked, it's very strong. But like Locket, for example, is so cheap. You can get a Locket so early, and that's such a huge advantage for your team when the enemy support just has like random components or a not activated Warmogs, and then you just have like a Locket or Zeke's with so much stats available to your team. So I don't know. I think it's in a fine balance spot right now. I don't think it's that OP or anything.
I feel like there isn't like a clear best tank support because, like you said, Locket's pretty cheap, but then Warmogs was broken.
Yeah.
Zeke's is okay, so I feel like there isn't like a clear best item, and Warmogs kind of was that clear best item for a couple of patches.
Now it's just situational. Whatever you think is good, you can go.
Yeah, and I think like also like until you reach the threshold for the region, you're kind of like a sitting duck because you don't have any resistances. So I think we might see a drop in prio over the next few
Oh yeah,
game
for
series.
sure. Yeah.
So before the game, Bwipo tweeted, "Clocking in for a paternity test at 1 p.m. We'll come back with the results when we're done."
Nice.
What would you say the results were of the paternity test? Is he the father?
Let me think what happened. Game 1 was not optimal. Then game 2, what was the top matchup?
Top matchup, I believe.
I have memory loss, I think.
It was Sniper and Camille.
Oh, and then Cassante?
And then Cassante on Bwipo, yeah.
Oh yeah, Bwipo was absolutely owning that game.
Yeah.
And then the most recent game,
Darius Cassante.
Bwipo's owning. Yeah, I think Bwipo is owning Sniper.
He's a father.
But yeah,
not convincingly, but he is a father.
I would say so. Yeah.
So touching on the Darius pick, then in that case, it's like a champion where I feel like we rarely see it. Is this something you guys have been practicing as a response to Cassante, or was it like a kind of Bwipo patented like, yo, let me get Darius. I know it'll do well into Cassante.
Yeah, no, not really practicing it. Bwipo just has a large champion pool, so when we're on red side, he can just go crazy with his counter picks, and he plays so many different things, and he's really individually good on all of them, and we completely trust him. So it's like, yeah, red side's scary to face Bwipo on for sure.
Would you guys say then you have a preference for red side as opposed to blue side, or is it kind of just like you feel like you're good at both?
We're good at both. Yeah.
So with the LCS kind of heading into like the last leg, finals are only a month and a half away. What would you say are the biggest areas of improvement for you personally, as well as like FlyQuest as a team, in order to make that leap to the next level as a true contender to TL?
I mean, I think we're already like a contender to TL, absolutely. And in terms of things we can improve on, I mean, it's just like everything. It's just like we're not 100% maxed out in any like aspect of gameplay, and we can just always keep improving. I guess things we're working on right now is like ways to like slowly progress and win a game without like the obvious ways that you win a game, like a good fight or just objectives. We're currently really improving on that. Like we showed it in this series already, like the way we're using our grubs to like slowly chip away at towers and just kind of pull them around the map. And that's something we can keep working on. Because like when you watch Gen G play, for example, they're really good at just like winning the game by like not fighting, you'll see.
Yeah.
Or obviously still fighting, but like they just win the game naturally. Like, nothing special has to happen.
You went into like 30 minutes to do something.
Yeah, or like when they've double side move, they just like randomly break a mid turret and then just keep so much control, and you're like, well, that's really good. So yeah, we're just improving in that category for sure.